Also, another thing that we put out in one of our last blogs was L.H. Asherfield was the big music in this. He built this as a music store. But Mr. L.H. Asherfield wrote the Havre de Grace High School March in 1896. And we have a copy of the sheet music here. In the early 1900s, 1904, I believe, 1902, he sold the property to Theodore and Elsa Asherfield, who later on, when Mr. Asherfield died, Elsie moved to Baltimore, and she sold the property to John and L.G. Pitcock. And everybody knows this as the Pitcock Hardware Store. Prior to that, it was actually the Bowden family hardware. And we have, the Bowdens actually started their hardware store over in one of Coakley's buildings, but they also had they did bicycles. And many places in town did bicycles back in the day. And we'll do a whole nother blog on nothing but the bicycle businesses in town. And here was one. Here's the picture of when this was the Bowden Sporting Good Hardware Store. That's this building, approximately 1910. And one of the little articles I found in the store was Mr. Bowden also sold animals. And he donated 2 live porcupines to the Wilmington Association, Wilmington, Delaware Association. I thought that was just a neat little piece. Also, he had his business burnt on St. John Street where Margie and Will have Coakley's. He moved then up to where the Masonic Lodge is before moving over here to Union Avenue. And then sometime later in 1918, Mrs. Asherfield sold the property to L.G. and John Pitcock, who started Willard Susquehanna Garage. And here's an old ad in the 1918 paper for Willie's Overlands, sold at the Susquehanna Garage. And then in 1925, it was the garage from 1918 to 1925. In 1926, L.G. and John, having closed the garage, opened up Pitcock Brothers Hardware Store, and L.G. persuaded his brother Charles Pitcock to come down and work the business with him. So Charles, John, and L.G. all worked this business from 1926, and here's a picture of this Pitcock Hardware in the 70s with Mr. Menser. I'm not sure who the other gentleman is, but this is the Pitcock Brothers Hardware Store in the 70s. And then here's an ad from the 1920s, or 1930s, from Pitcock's Furniture. So we have a lot of history and found a lot of history, and we've used the Sanborn maps that we took off the Smithsonian website that Paula helped us do, Marita's site, and that. And so you can go to our blog site at bahoukas.net or come into the store even, and I can show you the rest of the history. I have a whole binder here with all the ads that I've collected, and lots more that I've collected. I've even got copies, little paper copies of just this block with the store and the businesses on it from the Sanborn map that Paula did for us. You can go to bahoukas.net, our blog, or our website at bahoukas.com. Also go to my Facebook page, George Bahoukas Wagner, and click on the photos, and you can scroll back through all the old photos I've ever put on. Thank you very much.